Let's go.
But goddamn, get it done, will ya? Woo. When the blow up now, everybody's so unusual with it. Shit. But said times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the one engine you need in 2021, and I'm going to explain to you why you need to buy this engine in 2021. So let's get on to it. Okay guys, as you'll see here, this is the BMW N52 engine. Now, many of you are aware this engine is one of the last naturally aspirated engines, and you'll find this engine fitted to a lot of different E90s, E60s, and in America, it can even come in the E82s, E88s, and that's the same here in the E87s, the E82s, and the E88s in the 125i's. Now, this engine is very, very highly sought after because if many of you guys have watched my previous videos, you will know this is the last naturally aspirated engine. Being that it's the last naturally aspirated engine, and bearing in mind it had the Valvetronic, it's highly sought after because of the way it makes its power via the Valvetronic system, via the MSD70 ECU, and also having the 3-stage manifold, as you'll see over there, with the 2 dissers, which actually makes the torque. And the 3-stage manifold gives it a lot more power than a lot of you guys have without. And if you've ever driven one with the 3-stage manifold, you would know exactly what I mean by coming from one without the 3-stage manifold. So if you've got the 528i or the 328i, you won't have the 3-stage manifold. These engines make 258 bhp. They're insanely powerful. Still powerful on a 5 Series, but extremely powerful on a 1 Series and any light, obviously, car. This is why it's a highly sought after engine. Now, the reason I'm doing this video today is a lot of you guys probably are not aware. I've been actually searching for another one of these engines just to have in my garage, because these engines are becoming more and more and more sought after. People are buying them because they're cheap, they're very easy to install, they're cost effective to actually repair, and they make a lot of power. Bearing in mind it's the last naturally aspirated engine, it does make a lot of power, and especially on an E36 or any kind of lighter car that you can actually fit this in, be it a 1 Series now or 3 Series, it can make a lot of power for this engine. Now, that being said, I've been searching for another engine and I haven't been able to find the N52 motor, and that's truly because they're going up on price. Every day I look, you see them, they're up and up and up. These engines are becoming more and more desirable, especially for people with classics for the E30, E36. People are doing conversions and fitting them into them cars. Now, with that in mind, there's going to end up being no more of these engines, and they're going to become very, very highly sought after. Therefore, I do recommend that if you do see any car with this engine fitted, that you don't hesitate to go and buy it, because a lot of people don't believe me when I say this. A lot of people are going to think that the N54 is going to be worth money. I can tell you right now, the N54 will not be worth anything. And that's purely because it's turbocharged. That's what BMW is making now. It's not going to be a highly sought after engine. It's too highly expensive to actually maintain, to run, and to repair. Not only that, it's got turbos. A lot of people want a naturally aspirated engine, not a turbocharged engine. Therefore, this engine has become one of the best engines BMW ever made, as I've told you many times. And this is why it's highly sought after by a lot of collectors and anyone looking to do a conversion on their E30 and E36. Now, if you are in a position and you've already got this car, I would tell you to, and I strongly recommend to keep your car. So if you have a BMW 330i or a 530i, 2006, especially in the US, and you have the magnesium valve cover, keep it. This is the one people want. The N53 again is the last naturally aspirated engine here in the UK, but again, it's not going to be highly sought after because it's direct injection. The one everybody wants is the magnesium valve cover N52. If you do have that engine, I strongly advise you to keep hold of it. Do not be tempted to sell it and go to an N54. Do not be tempted to give it away, because prices are going to rise on this engine dramatically, and people are going to come on this video saying I'm talking crap. Let them believe what they want. I'm telling you from my personal experience, from my personal opinion, I know a lot of people with this engine. I know a lot of sellers with this engine who are trying to even source one and still can't source one still even today. I've been trying to get them to give me a whole engine just shipped on the pallet. I want one of these engines just as a spare, because if anything happened to this engine, or say it was to blow up at any time, God forbid it won't, I'm going to find it very hard to source another one, and I'm going to be without this car. That's the kind of engine I want to keep, you know, just away, just in case anything happens to this. Therefore, if you do have this engine, I strongly recommend, like I said, not to sell it. Do not listen to anyone. Do not be tempted to go over to a turbocharged engine. You can supercharge these, you can turbocharge these. I am in the process of sorting out the turbo for this engine, as many of you guys probably would have been aware from my previous video. The company is sending it to me. They are delayed with the shipping and sending it over here because of everything that's happening. But the turbocharger is coming for this engine now. I'm going to be bolting it on, and I'm going to be showing you how to actually do that. Now, if you are getting rid of it, or you've just got rid of your car, you're going to regret that, because give it a few months time, another year, you ain't going to be able to see another one of these engines at all. A lot of people are even buying them with problems for cheap, and then fixing them and then taking them out the car and putting them in their E30, 36. So if you guys have any night that's not running right, someone's going to come and buy that from you, take that engine out and fit it into the car they want. As I said, it's a highly desirable engine, and if you guys don't believe me, you're sure to find out very soon. The black valve cover one is not highly sought after, and that's purely because it doesn't come in a 3-stage manifold, and it takes a lot of work to actually get it to work with that, especially on the MSV80 ECU. That's why people want the magnesium valve cover. It's a lot stronger, it's a lot more robust. It doesn't blow the valve covers. You have to buy a new valve cover, you just buy the new gasket and it's done. That's why a lot of people want this one and not the crappy plastic one, which a lot of people actually drive. It's not your guys' fault. Obviously you bought a new one, you didn't know about that. But this one here is the magnesium valve cover one that everybody wants. Now, if you're in two minds now thinking, crap, should I get rid of my black valve cover one and get the magnesium one? No, you shouldn't. If you've already got an M52 and you've got the black valve cover, keep it. But if you do want to change for this one, you're going to get a lot more power gains, and it's going to be a lot more better for you in the long run, because this has a 3-stage manifold. A lot of you ask me how you can get more power. Go and get a magnesium valve cover one. It comes immediately with the 3-stage manifold. On the 330Xis on 06, 530Xis on 06, they'll have the 3-stage manifold. Therefore, you're good to go. You won't need to have no tune, no nothing. You already have it on there. And that's why this engine is actually highly sought after. And this is why I'm telling you, if you do see these engines come up in 2021, anywhere, be it E90, E60, E82, E88, E87, buy it. A lot of people already know in the UK, if you've got an E87, these things are rapid inside them. Very, very quick car with this engine in. And it makes around 265 brake, I believe, on the E87, because lighter, obviously. This makes 258 bhp, a standard on this, on the 530i. You guys in the US with your 528, I think they were around 230 bhp. It wasn't a major difference, major change from losing the 3-stage manifold, but it's still a big difference, and you lose that like the kick feeling. You know, the whole idea that this is meant to be like turbos, but naturally aspirated, and that's the whole idea of the two dissers, to give you that nice torque and nice flow of power throughout the whole RPM range. But there you go, guys. So if you do see one of these engines, I'm not going to keep this long enough, this video. Go and grab it. Do not resist and do not hold back. You know, I know a lot of you probably think, oh, you don't have the money. If you see them come up cheap, buy it with this engine. Even with issues, fix it. You're going to thank me later on when you realise that you bought this engine and how many people are going to want it. You're going to have people putting wanted ads out for this engine. I'm telling you that right now. It's a highly desirable engine, and it's very, very highly wanted. Even here in the UK, as I said, many people can't find it. I can't even find it, you know, and the ones I can, they're very expensive. Very, very expensive. So therefore, I'm trying to find one as cheap as possible, even with issues, that I could just overhaul and then pull it in the garage and strap it up ready if I ever needed to pull it in here. Okay guys, so there you have it. If you see one of these engines anywhere around in 2021, my advice is to go and buy this engine. Do not hesitate, do not wait, because if you wait and leave it, someone else will take it and they will end up selling it for double the price. Not only that, this engine is very, very desirable, as I said, and it is wanted by collectors for the E30s and E36s right now, and still people are buying it. I get a lot of people in my comments saying they've converted their car with this exact engine into their car, and yes, it is the magnesium one. The plastic valve cover one will not be worth as much as the magnesium one. That's just the way it is, and that's not what people want. So I hope you guys have actually enjoyed this video, and if you do have an M52 with a magnesium valve cover, make sure to hold onto that car and do not let it go, because if you let it go, you will regret it later on. Thank you very much for watching this BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.